Hello, Outriders. It is Ebontis, and today we got our first official news for the expansion to Outriders called Worldslayer. Now, the date of the launch is going to be June 30th, so you got a little while until this thing is going to launch, but it has a lot to offer. If you caught the stream, some of this may be things you've already seen, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail because I actually got to play a preview of Worldslayer and kind of look through the menus. So I'll have a little bit more, that I could show you as we work through this description of what Worldslayer is going to be. Now, when I got to play the preview, I got to play kind of 1.5 missions. They kind of skipped me between things. There was like an intro to kind of explain where things kicked off and how bad things actually are. And then I actually got to play what felt like full mission. So I'll probably upload those separately a little bit later on so you guys can see my gameplay. So you can kind of see what to expect and what to change. But I really did enjoy the full mission that I played. Boss encounter is fairly cool. And overall, I mean, it still feels like Outriders. So if you like Outriders, this is more Outriders, but with a lot more to it. So the first thing is they've got a brand new story campaign. And the nice thing is, even if you haven't played Outriders at all, and you want to jump in with your friends to play the Worldslayer content, you're going to be able to, because you're going to be able to create a character, and you're going to be able to choose to boost it to level 30 if you like to. And that way you're going to have a level 30 character. Should get you the skill points that you need if you're looking to unlock the skill tree. Base set of gear that's going to be kind of equivalent with that level. It's not going to be full of epics or legendaries, but you'll be able to get started. And you'll be able to jump into the Worldslayer content straight away. Then if you want to go play the original campaign, you can go all the way through that one, however you prefer to do it. If you already played the original Outriders, all the campaign, had your character pretty maxed out before, you can take that character and jump straight into Worldslayer as well. So either way, you're going to be able to do that. So far, they said the story is going to be told through a tight campaign versus one of the toughest altered we have ever faced. Her name is Uresh Kagal, which I could be butchering the pronunciation, but I think that's what they said when we had the preview event. She wields powers basically no one has ever seen before, and on top of that, the anomaly on Enoch is causing some cataclysmic level events, and things are getting pretty terrible. So I don't know if she's the one behind it, or if it's a combination of that and the anomaly getting stronger, more powerful, causing more destruction. Not really a great time to be on Enoch, so we are trying to survive any which way we can. They said they wanted to offer more combat variety and also more epic and alien environments, so buckle in. Seems like it's going to be fun. What I played so far did feel different from what we experienced before. Did still feel like Outriders. Again, the combat is going to feel similar with your abilities and your weapons and that type of thing, but I did like what I saw so far from the preview. What else are we going to get with Outriders? Well, we've got new gear first. That's one of the biggest things. So each class is going to get 2 new complete legendary sets. That's 5 pieces each, so that's 40 pieces of gear alone. There's going to be a few 3-piece universal armor sets, so if you want to pair those with some of the legendaries, you can get benefits of both. They said in total, there's going to be about 100 new legendary items between armor and weapons, so you're going to be experiencing a lot of new gear that you're going to be able to go after and then grind for towards the end game. But it doesn't stop there. They also introduced new Apocalypse level loot, which is going to have a 3rd mod slot. Previously, you could have epic and legendary gear that it would have 2 mod slots, and you could theoretically do a little bit of mod switching to make one of those mod slots more preferential to your build, so you could swap one of them out, and that would basically lock the other one in place. With the new gear, the Apocalypse loot, you're going to have 3 slots. The bottom one is going to be locked, so the additional one will be locked, so you will still be looking for that god roll, but one of the top 2 is still switchable with that mod of your preference, so you're really going to be able to get a even more powerful weapon and customize it even further to help play with your build. So overall, the Apocalypse loot is something that you're going to be getting as you go through the game in kind of the upper echelon on Apocalypse tiers, which I'll get to in just a minute. But the Apocalypse loot with that 3rd mod slot for both legendary and epic weapons, so the purples and then your oranges or yellows, whichever you prefer those to be called, are going to have a chance for that 3rd mod slot, an additional mod to really make your gear as strong as it's ever been. Outside of being able to jump straight into a level 30 character, you're also going to get access to new PAX class trees. There are 2 of them per class, and these 2 branches allow even further customization of your character to lean into basically your build of choice, whichever way you're kind of going. I played the Technomancer in my preview build, so I had 2 different trees to play there, and you're going to get a total of 5 PAX points. So in the trees, you're not, just as before, you're not going to be able to unlock, both trees completely. You're only going to get 5 total points, and those are going to come from the Worldslayer content milestones as you play through the campaign and potentially things beyond that. But you're going to get a total of 5 points to put into these PAX class trees. So that's going to allow further customization, further skill points to basically choose where you want to go. And as always, you're going to be able to respec for free anytime that you want to. So that's actually always a good thing about this game. The respecs are free. Basically, try out any build that you want to at any time. The PAX trees are not the only new addition to your character class kind of customization. You've also got Ascension Levels, which are going to be more of an in-game grind. These are a new addition for characters to take basically your character to a brand new level, and they're going to be based on battle experience. So as you're grinding towards the end game and finding new loot, working on those legendary gear, trying to get those apocalypse weapons to drop, you're going to be making progress on these Ascension levels. And there are a total of 200 Ascension levels, which when we asked the devs in the preview event, they said it could take hundreds of hours to get there. So these are your long-term grind to really max everything out. But even on one of the ones I saw, I was able to just boost up my health. But each was like 2.4%. Next one is going to be 4.2%. And that's just like one node of 20. So it looks like you're going to have 20 different nodes, 10 points to go into each of them. And they can do anything from boost your anomaly power, boost your health, many other things. I'll show those on screen as I'm kind of talking about this right now so you guys can see them. But that is one of the end games. If you picture something like Paragon levels and things like that from other games, it is the time that you invest into the game, killing enemies, doing experience, completing expeditions, missions, whatever it may be. As you get experience from doing all of those things, you're going to get those Ascension levels to just permanently boost your character across the board. So that is going to be for those who do want to invest the time into the game, enjoy the grind, and really want to push that character even farther up. Those are going to be the ways that help you do that. Finally, we've got the Apocalypse tiers. So previously we had challenge tiers, and as you played through the campaign, you had the choice to naturally let the game kind of level you up if you continue to kill enemies, not died, continue to make progress while staying alive and not being killed too many times. You would, stay or increase your challenge tier, which would allow you to get higher level gear. Previously, in the original release of Outriders, the challenge tiers went up to a max of 15, and it really took you to get into the in-game with the expeditions to get into that high-level challenge tier and hit that max of 15, which allowed you to get level 50 gear. Well, the Apocalypse tiers are going to replace challenge tiers. So challenge tiers are gone, Apocalypse tiers are here. And 1 through 15 is probably going to feel about the same. There may be some tweaks here and there, but generally the first 15 Apocalypse tiers are going to be about the same. And that is what's going to be available for somebody who doesn't own Outriders Worldslayer. If you own the original Outriders and you jump in, you're still going to see Apocalypse tiers because that's just the system they are shifting to. But your cap is going to be level 15 and therefore level 50 gear. For those who get Worldslayer or the upgrade or the expansion, you're going to see a new Apocalypse tier cap of 40, which is much higher than before. But that's also going to allow you to get level 75 gear. Now, I don't know if you guys remember or if you even played it before, but in that last like 5 to 10 levels from like level 40 to level 50 gear, as you got gear up to those higher max levels, every numbered piece of gear from even like 47 to 48 was a substantial bump in attack power or health or armor or anything along those lines. So taking it from 15 all the way up to 40 is really going to give you a lot more beefiness and damage to your character, which means they're going to be throwing a lot at us, which is true. Because if you can manage to reach Apocalypse tier level 40, there is a new end game. Now, previously we had expeditions as a way to max out your gear score. As I said, get that level 50 gear, which you'll still be able to do. Those will still exist. You'll be able to work on getting your character stronger by using expeditions in that way, grinding those out faster, getting better drops, which they've tweaked quite a bit. And then also, you've, going to be able to work on those Ascension levels. But why would you be working on all of that in-game grind if it wasn't an in-game there? Now, I don't know too much about it, but it is called the Trial of Tarja Gritar. Now, they say it will be entirely different from expeditions. I don't know if it's going to be like an endless horde mode, climbing through tough levels of a tower, time attacks. Again, I don't know what it's going to offer because they haven't even told us yet. But if you picture everything that we can get now, we can get our gear up to level 40 through Ascension, through Apocalypse tiers, Sorry, we can get our gear up to 75 with Apocalypse tier level 40. You have 200 Ascension points to just boost the stats of your character across the board if you're willing to invest the time. And then you've also got gear with another mod slot, so you can be even crazier with your abilities and your weapons and what they're capable of and what you're capable of. Plus new legendary gear that's also potentially going to be legendary Apocalypse armor. So you've got both Apocalypse triple slot armor, triple slot weapons. All of those are going to be making a very powerful character for this in-game activity called the Trial of Guitar. I don't know what that's going to offer, but that I do know is going to be where the end game eventually pushes you to. The Worldslayer overall allows you to reach gear score 75, 25 higher than before. Ascension level 200 to just straight up boost your character and stats with the time that you invest. Apocalypse gear with those 3 slots to make some insane weapons and armor. New skill trees with those PAX trees to specialize even further as you go through the Worldslayer campaign events. And with all of that, you're going to be facing probably one of the toughest in-games that Worldslayer has ever come up with. So I don't know what the cost is yet for this. They have not told us. I don't know if it's going to be in the announcement that is recorded here. If that's the case, I'll post a pinned comment to this as soon as I know. But that is everything we know about Worldslayer. I enjoyed my time with Outriders previously. I put about 50 hours in towards launch, and a lot of things did, you know, change after launch. There were some tweaks and things, and they've made things honestly better overall. They had a transmog. They took the timers out of the expeditions, and they've really made some good quality of life changes over the course of the past year. But I will tell you guys, I had a good experience. I know not everybody did. Some people lost their inventories. Obviously, that has been fixed by now. People had issues logging in for a while, like a good close friend of mine. So there were issues at launch, but if you haven't ever played Outriders or you heard things and you didn't quite pick it up, this now feels like the time. You still might wait for the launch of it, but if you felt like you were going to miss out by jumping into Worldslayer late, again, you can jump into Worldslayer, boost your character up, or I do recommend going through the whole campaign, because for a third-person shooter like sci-fi story, like a shooter story, it actually was pretty good. Like, there were some moments in there that were good, the set pieces were pretty fun, boss fights were pretty entertaining and challenging, and overall I enjoyed my time in the campaign, and that would allow you to feel a bit more of a natural level up if that's what you choose to do. So overall, you guys will probably see one more video on Outriders over my channel over the mission that I got to play. I'll post that one up separately, but in here, this is pretty much everything I've got with news for Worldslayer. So hope you guys found this one beneficial. Hopefully you got a lot of information out of this one. If you have comments or questions about anything, leave those in the comments below on the video. If you want to find me on Twitter or Twitch, you guys can swing by there. Ask me a question, just hang out and stream. If you are new to the YouTube channel, I cover a lot of Destiny. Still typically do that a lot and will, but Outriders, you know, we'll probably have a little bit of content on here for sure coming up. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, that alert bell, that'll make sure you guys don't miss the content from me. If you guys are YouTube members or Patreon subscribers, thank you for that extra support. All of you are amazing. Look forward to seeing you soon.